What's cracking, party people? It's your girl Nicole Banister, aka NIKKI BANZ. Today is Tuesday and we do this every single week. So welcome back to NIKKI BANZ Live. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? I got no sound effects for y'all today. I'm sorry, but it's supposed to be load shedding here in South Africa. So, we just gonna get lit and just see what happens. We're gonna see if the power goes out, but don't worry. Your girl NIKKI BANZ has a ring light. I got some backup lights. My phone is fully charged. So I think we're gonna be all good. You know what I mean? Load shedding cannot stop NIKKI BANZ Live. This is, if load shedding happens, which I assume it will here in South Africa. This will be the second interview that I've done now where there has been load shedding in the middle of my interview. The last time I had load shedding on an interview was with the one and only CJ Dumeni from Namibia, an incredible entrepreneur with an amazing company where he has basically created the Uber Eats of Namibia, connecting all sorts of incredible businesses and different restaurants to an online app that basically allows people to order food. So I had load shedding during that whole interview. So if any of y'all saw that, that's a proper throwback. I had load shedding during that interview. I'm about to have load shedding again today right here in South Africa. For those of you who are watching this who are like, Nicole, what is load shedding? I've never heard of this before. Well. Load shedding is because in South Africa, basically there is not enough supply of electricity to meet the demand. So the government basically just turns off certain neighborhoods at certain times. We have a whole app for it and everything. It says from 8 to 10 p.m. you're going to have load shedding in this neighborhood. And from 10 to midnight, you're going to have load shedding in this neighborhood. So anyway, that's the load shedding situation. But we here anyway. We out here. I see my boy Ali Jape is in the building. My very, very, very special guest for today, which I'm so excited about. If you don't know Ali, you are about to know this incredible young man. He is an expert travel guide and tour guide, showcasing the beautiful archipelago known as Zanzibar, the amazing islands off the coast of Tanzania. So I'm so excited to bring him to you all. Not only does he do tours in person, he also does tours through his amazing YouTube and Instagram pages. He's a phenomenal young content creator. And I'm so excited to have him on the show today. But you already know I just have to give my little shout outs first before we get it popping, before I bring Ali on today. First and foremost, are y'all checking this hair? Like, tell me you are looking at this gorgeous hair. Okay, shout out to Lotus Beauty Hair here in Cape Town, South Africa. They are hooking me up with some incredible hairstyles for the festive season here. We about to hit up. It's about to be, summer in the southern hemisphere. And so they are hooking me up with some beautiful hairstyles. So shout out to my squad over at Lotus. You can find them in Salt River if y'all are ever here. Men, women, however you identify, you can all go get your hair did at Lotus. So shout out. Thank you. That's my first shout out. Second shout out. Look, y'all, I've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks, but I'm going to keep talking about it until we continue to spread the word. If you are not following what's happening in Iran right now, I need you to look up the hashtag Mahsa Amini, Mahsa Amini. Mahsa Amini. She was a young 22-year-old Iranian woman who was murdered by police in Iran because she was allegedly incorrectly wearing her hijab. Now, this is a struggle not only for women's rights, for religious freedom, for human rights, but for all the people in Iran who are really looking to have freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of religion. They don't have it right now under the current Iranian regime. So please, party people, if you can, please share, please repost. We need to continue to spread the word and spread awareness about what's happening in Iran. There are hundreds of young people protesting, young women in particular, students, people who are our age and younger who are protesting for the freedom of expression, for human rights in Iran, and they're being murdered. They're disappearing and their bodies aren't being found. So please, we as the diaspora, we as the rest of the world need to continue sharing about what's happening in Iran. So once again, you can look up the hashtag Mahsa Amini. You can look that up, learn more about what's happening in Iran. Just one post on your Instagram, one share to your stories will help spread the word about what's happening in Iran. And as someone who is half black, half Iranian, this is super important to me, but it'll be important for all of you as well because human rights are universal and global. All right, everybody, I've given my little shout outs. And now it's time to get this party crack-a-lackin'. Like I said, I'm so excited for this phenomenal young content creator who's gonna be on the show today. He's a tour guide and a travel expert, dropping truth bombs about Zanzibar all day, every day. And his name is Ali Jape. Ali, I'm about to bring you on right now, my guy. Let's get this party started. I am so excited. Here we go. Y'all know like a little drum roll, like drum roll. Here we go. It is time to get it poppin'. Hey. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, Nicole, I can hear you. I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. I can see you. You look amazing. You sound amazing.
I'm always like whenever I see you live and I'm like listening to that intro and the little shout outs, I'm like, what's gonna happen today? So now I'm on the show and I'm like, yeah, let's do this.
Yes, you're finally on NIKKI BANZ Live, and I've seen you. You've been tuning in. You've been supporting. I'm so grateful, and it's such an honor, such a pleasure for me to finally have you here live on my show. So welcome to NIKKI BANZ Live.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Thank you very much. I'm excited for this. So yeah.
Yes, let's get it cracking. If I'm not mistaken, you said this might be like your first ever IG Live.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. I don't
Yes!
know. I have no idea how this thing works. So I'm waiting to see how you're gonna kick this off.
Well, so far so great. All you gotta do is just talk to the camera, and that's basically about it. And it's cool because you'll see all your homies commenting, people asking questions, people waving, giving hearts. So, you know, you gotta like shout out your homies that pop on, you know what I mean? It's like, it's like the closest thing to live TV when you don't really have a live TV show.
Yeah, I can see a lot of my friends tuning in. Some of them are in Thailand, some of them are around Dubai, and many other places. Like I can see the names, so some of them we kind of like speak sometimes, so I know exactly where they are. So I can see people from around the world right now.
Uh-oh, we international, baby. Ali and NIKKI BANZ, international. I love it. Oh my goodness, I love to see it, Ali. And so I always like to start every single interview that I do here on NIKKI BANZ Live by telling people how I know the guests who are on my show. And so we kind of have a fun story. We met at the Nas Summit in Dubai earlier this year. The one and only Nas Daily hosted this incredible summit of content creators and social media people, whether they were TikTokers, Snapchatters, YouTubers, podcasters, everyone that came together in Dubai in March. And we met there. I also met your very good friend and fellow content creator, Jamal. And it was Jamal who was like, Nicole, you've interviewed me. Why don't you interview Ali? I was like, all right, I'm going to interview your boy. So here we go, Zanzibar Takeover.
It's an honor to be here, Nicole. I mean, since we've seen each other on NAS Summit, I mean, it was great to kind of like connect with other content creators, to meet a lot of different people, to learn as well. And I think Nosire kind of like kicked it off on a very good time, and got everybody together. And I'm glad it actually happened, and it was very successful.
I agree completely. It was so refreshing and so nice to meet so many people from so many different parts of the world. You know, meeting you from Tanzania, me coming from South Africa / the United States. There's people from India, from the Philippines. It was such a dynamic and like really global group of people. So I feel like maybe I should start there because I know you have done a lot of collaborations with Nasir, aka Nas Daily. You've been in his videos, you've collaborated with him before. How did you first meet the one and only Nas Daily? How did that relationship start?
It's actually a very funny story, but I'll take it back, and I'll take it back to the point because I work in tourism, like here in Zanzibar, and I've been working in tourism for the past 8.5 years. And when COVID happened, then I kind of like got into content, And yeah, I never knew exactly, like I never had an idea. I never thought in my life that I would ever create content, and that just kind of like came up. And I think creating content opened up a lot more opportunities for me, more than I've ever done in the my past 8 years that I've worked in the tourism industry. So I
Wow.
think how like that shows how to me content is so important. So
Mm.
I mean, I met Nusair when he came to Zanzibar. He was introducing a course with Dan Mace at Nas Academy, and they were there for like 3 days, and they wanted to do some stuff around. So I kind of like, yeah, I'll help you guys when you're here, and that's how we kind of like knew each other. And also because I had done previously like a course on Nas Academy before he came to Zanzibar. And when he came, I was
Okay.
like, yeah, I did something at Nas Academy. And it was like, oh, yeah, someone in Zanzibar did a course in Nas Academy. So, I mean, that's how I think the relationship kind of started. And when we were when he was about to go back to Dubai, he was like, oh, when are you coming to Dubai and things like that. And he also offered me a creator master course at Nas Academy as well, in which I got to join that also, which I'm really,
Wow.
really grateful for. So if Nusar is gonna watch this, a big shout out to him, and so much respect for him and what he's doing as well.
Oh my goodness gracious. That is such a beautiful story of how you two met, how you connected through Nas Academy. Shout out to Nasir. He's also been a guest here on NIKKI BANZ Live, and he's obviously the one
Yeah,
that brought us together in Dubai where we first met. It's so incredible
yeah,
how, certain people just form these connections and form these relationships, and then it branches into so many other things. You taking courses, you filming videos together, and it's actually so interesting to hear that you only really got into content creation in the pandemic. So like in the last like 2 or 3 years, it seems like you've been doing
yeah,
content for so long. And so maybe let's take it back before the content then. Let's take it back to
yeah.
your travel and your tour guide experience. Like talk to us about how you first got into the tourism industry.
So I finished secondary school. So that's the end of compulsory education here. So you have 10 years of compulsory education. You're done. You have to wait for the results, and then you have 2 more years high school, which is not compulsory. So some people choose to, like, when you finish the 10 years of compulsory education, you could choose like a specific training to go to, and then you can jump into that specific kind of industry. So I mean, I finished secondary school, and then we have like not less than 6 months to wait until you start high school. And I thought I didn't want to just stay at home, so I told my dad that I wanted to do something. And he was like, okay, what do you want to do? I said, okay, I'll just find like something short, a short course that I'll do. So I did a short kind of like computer training, a basic training. And then while I was doing that, I met someone who had engaged in a tourism course, which also took like a short, intensive 3 month course. And I was really interested when he told me the stories and everything. I was like, oh, this is cool, like to know a lot about the place and things like that. So I was kind of like really excited about it. And I kind of like applied. So I fell in love with that and story. And I was like, okay, I'll just apply for the course. So I did the course for like 3 months. Once I was done, my results were out. I had to go for high school. But at the same time, the results were out because I did science. So I did science subjects at school. So at the same time, also, I already finished my course. And the place that I studied, the owners had a company, and they said it was a Dutch company. And they said, Ali, we want to work with you. And I was like, oh, this is cool. So I told my dad, okay, I'm going to school, but here, the place that I studied, they have a company and they want to work with me. He said, you can do both. You can go to school, and then you can you can also work. But that was
Mm.
hard because school was in the morning and work was in the morning. So I had to choose one of the two.
Oh.
So when I went back to my dad and I told him, okay, I cannot do both things. I need to do one of the things. So what do you suggest? He said, I've like taken care of, I've raised you since you were a kid. And I think even though you are young, I think you can make good decisions for yourself. I don't want to tell you what to do. And then at the end of the day, to come and say, I wish I did something else. So he said, I'm putting that choice on you. I know that you can make the best decision for yourself. So see what's best for you. And when I looked and I kind of like weighed both sides, and I said, okay, I'll do a career in tourism and to kind of like develop certain kind of skills and I think all that was very important, and I think that was also the foundation of even I would not have made a video if I would not into tourism or kind of like being a guide or something like that.
Wow, wow, wow. This is just like such an incredible story of you deciding between school and getting a job in travel and tourism, something that you were really good at, something that you had a lot of options and opportunities in. And I feel like what a powerful statement from your dad to be like, I trust you, even though you're young, you've always made good decisions. And then you were able to take that next step very boldly and confidently on your own. I have to say that's really cool. And I'm seeing, I got to give some shout outs to some folks in the chat. I see that Rashid is here, who works for the Nas Academy team. I see Artez is here, who's part of the Nas Academy team as well. There's someone called Eclectic Wanderer who is saying that, Ali, you are literally the best tour guide in all of Zanzibar. If you go to Zanzibar, you need to contract with Ali. So shout out to all of you here on the live, showing the one and only Ali Jape some love. I am absolutely loving this. Even Rashid is saying thank you for featuring our very own crown prince, giving you a little crown emoji. I love
who is that? Is that Rashid?
Yeah, Rashid for Nas Academy. He's giving you all the love. I see someone else in here. Ongera Sana, bro. We got the Swahili speakers in the house. What's up? Karibu Sana. What's up, everybody?
Oh, I can see a lot of people tuning in. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the live. I mean, it means so much to me, the support from everybody. And I think everybody that's watching this live right now, and everyone that's watching my content and your content, Nicole, as well. I mean, the people who are following us, looking at the content that we create. Personally, I really appreciate every single one of these people because they keep us on our toes and be like, what should we create next, you know?
Yeah,
and we should always kind of like step it up and do more every single day.
I love that. And I feel the exact same way. You know, it's like, it's a choice for you to watch a live interview that I host. It's a choice for someone to watch one of your YouTube videos. You know, when people watch, when they comment, when they share, when they repost, when all of you do that, it means the world to us as content creators, because that's how we continue to grow. That's how we continue to expand our brand. That's how we're able to think of like new and creative things, you know, to bring you. And so I just think it's so dope that we've got 50 people here on the live right now that are just like excited for this talk. So I love to see it. Shout out to all of you who are here today. That's dope. That's dope.
You know, my little brother tuned in and he's saying, glad to hear your story at the end. So I have no idea what he means, but anyways, so Nicole.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. My little brother is on the live too. Shout out Julian. It's a family affair today, y'all.
Great. I love this. I love this actually.
Yeah. I know. Ali, you're gonna start doing lives now. You're gonna be like, I did it once, now I'm a pro. Yeah, maybe that's what's coming next. So okay, so you have this opportunity to work, you know, with these the people that were at your school, this Dutch company that was supporting you, but now you have your own Airbnb experience where you take people on tours and do things like that, and it seems to be super successful. You have 400 reviews on your Airbnb experience, which is absolutely phenomenal. Talk to us about how you decided to sort of branch out and do your own thing. Do you have a team that works with you? You know, when did you decide, like, I'm going to do this for myself? I don't need to work with another company. I got this. I'm ready.
So I would say initially as well. So I've never actually like committed to working, like being employed directly with the company since I kind of like started. So the Dutch company was kind of like, I was working as a freelance, but they kind of like gave me certain kind of tasks that I was doing, and that gave me more of my own free time. And so I worked for companies with several kind of commitments. And the reason for that was because when I started, I was like, you know, I was maybe like 18 years old, like 17 years old, 9 years ago, something like that. And when I started, it was super hard for me to get a job. to go to a place. Like I even asked for practical training, like to go for, I would say like an internship or something. And it was really hard because you go to a company, you send like 10 different letters and you don't get a reply. You go and
Right.
ask every single time and they're like, no, 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 we don't take trainees, we don't do this, we don't do that. And for me, I was like, okay, maybe I can find my own path. And, you know, in that kind of way, I kind of like develop myself. But I think that the people that I've taken around for the past maybe 9 years are the people who, you know, have made these things successful. Because from every review, they decided to kind of like share with everybody else. And also for us, kind of like committing into more providing value and looking at the outcome of the experience to what someone gets after booking the service, which is much more than the cost of what we offer. So I used to do every single tour, every single operation, you know, by myself, every single time, all these years. Now I have a few people that I don't say that they work for me, but it's like they work with me. So we work together. We kind of like help each other. And my young brother actually handles more of the operations now. So kind of like it was difficult if I had to travel and then we have things going on. It was super difficult. But now I'm kind of like, I know there is someone who can take care of certain kind of things. So he handles many of our operations. So the Airbnb experiences most of the time. I mean, I used to do those myself, but now I have more people who are doing those. So I would say there are only two other people who perform the Airbnb experiences, but we have products through different OTAs that we supply, in which, so if someone books a hotel through booking.com, booking.com would recommend them, let's say if a walking tour. And I would say if someone searches for a walking tour in Stone Town, Zanzibar, then there is over 80% chance that they're gonna book a product that is operated by us. So I mean, that's kind of like, because we focus more on like one product rather than just everything else, like what everybody else is doing. And I kind of like did that just only like 3.5 years ago.
Wow, 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 wow. Okay, this growth, this expansion is absolutely phenomenal to see that, you know, you started off sort of as a one-man show, operating your own tourism company, your own business, and now to grow, to have collaborators who work with you, to have a variety of different experiences around Zanzibar, around Stone Town. It's absolutely incredible. And I think one of the things that I really admire about you, Ali, is that what you're doing is you are redefining and reshaping the narrative of Africa and the African continent through your tours and through your content as well. And this is something that I think is super interesting. I mean, even for me, I have learned things about Zanzibar. I've been to Zanzibar and I didn't realize that Zanzibar was an archipelago of 50 different islands. I didn't know. It was through your videos that I realized there was more than just like Pemba, right? You know, where most people like kind of go and do things. And so you really are telling authentic African stories from an authentic African lens, from your experience, your lived experience. Why is that important to you?
So I'll take you back to when COVID happened. And that's when I realized why I should do it. Because COVID happened, no work. So everyone is at home. Zanzibar closed like end of March and there were no flights allowed to come in, which means it was like the island was completely dead. And everybody's like waiting for things to get back to normal. And I'm like, you know, I'm in the tourism industry. I'm like, okay, so I was sitting back, I was sitting at home and thinking to myself, what am I gonna do? Is this the end of everything, or, you know, things like that. And then I started getting messages from previous customers asking me, what's happening in Zanzibar? And it came to my mind saying like, oh, what's happening in Zanzibar is like what's happening everywhere else around the world. But people kept asking me the same question every single time. And I was tired of like giving all these answers, like sending messages every single day, the same question, the same answer. And I said, I see what's happening around. Why shouldn't I create something that is going to make this process much simpler? And my idea was like, I was too lazy to answer all these messages. And I was like, okay, I'll just make a video. I did some research. I took some data. I put that all like in one place. I'm like, I'll make a short video. And then whenever someone asks me a question, I'll send them a link. And then through this link, they'll get all the answers. So I won't be able, so if I'm just sending a link and that's it. Yeah. And that's kind of like where I started. And when I started that, I was kind of like looking, and then I realized that most of the media from, let's say, Zanzibar, speak for Zanzibar specifically, only provides information in local language, which is in Swahili. And I said, okay, that was the reason that people did not know exactly what's happening, even though
Right.
information is shared. And I said, I can bring in a new perspective that I can share this information that everybody else is sharing in Swahili, in local language, in Swahili, and I can share it in English. And then that's why I decided to kind of like use my medium of communication as English rather than the local language, because I realized everyone is using the local language for their content. I need to do something different. And also I wanted to kind of like reach a global audience to help people travel better. And that was my main idea at the beginning. So I made the first video, and people liked it. So whenever people ask the question, I send them the link, and they liked the video. They didn't have any other questions. I put all the information on the description box on like my YouTube channel and something. And yeah, I was like, okay, in the meantime, I'm waiting, like, we're waiting for things to get back to normal. Then why shouldn't I try and do something? So I kind of like use that time to create more videos. And I would say that's how my video journey kind of like started. And because I have a storytelling background, being a tour guide as well, that was, for me, it was much easier because I knew exactly what words to use to make the person, for example, interested towards the content. And I knew exactly, let's say, what people wanted, because I've worked with tourists for a long time. So so I knew exactly who I was talking to the camera. So whenever I picked up my phone, I made my video, I knew exactly who I was talking to. So I knew exactly who I targeted. And I think for me, that was much more important.
How phenomenal that you were able to take your storytelling experience and your storytelling skills from live tours and walking tours around Stone Town and actually pivot that to creating an amazing story on camera. I think it's just so incredible. And it just shows how, I think a lot of times when people think about content creators, they think, oh, they're just like making videos and whatever, but there's so much more to it. There's storytelling, there's captivating an audience, there's answering questions that people actually have. It's exactly what you said, speaking to them in their language, so reaching a global audience as opposed to maybe just Tanzania or just East Africa where they speak Swahili. And I think that's really, really phenomenal how you were able to make that jump. And I'm seeing everybody in the comments here. Abdul Hamid 009 saying best YouTuber on the platform. ILX is saying Ali is the best. My friend Afua is giving you claps and a little muscle emoji. We got Frederick Binamungu saying keep it up, brother. Official Ibn Aki saying perfect, you're doing perfect. I'm loving this, y'all. Keep the comments coming. Show some love for the boy. And once again, if you're not following Ali yet on Instagram, I need you to go to the top of your screen right now. Go to the top, click on that little white arrow right in the middle. You click on that. Follow Ali on Instagram, Ali_Jape. You can follow your girl NIKKI BANZ too, at They Call Me BANZ. Make sure you're supporting. And I see some people. There was one person in the chat saying that they're going to Zanzibar soon and they're going to hire you. So you got business coming in, So it's all flowing. It's all love, and I love to see it. Was it hard for you? Because for me, I love doing live things. That's why I have a live show here. I've like done live TV performances and things like that. So I love being live. I think it's spontaneous. I think it's cool. And when you're a tour guide, that's also just like live, right? Was it hard for you to then actually be like, oh, I have to like script and set up in front of a camera and like it's not live. You have to like set it up and then perform it. Was that a hard transition for you?
It wasn't easy, Nicole. I think the transitioning, especially when you get into something that you have no idea about. I started creating videos on my mobile phone. So I had like this really poor quality kind of like mobile. And I was like, using to make videos with that. And then I was making the videos, but people liked, I was like, oh, wow, people like the videos. And when I looked at my videos, like back then, I thought like, okay, I mean, the quality is good. And then, I was doing these videos, and then I was like in the middle of the pandemic, I was like, okay, maybe I should invest more. So I kind of like had a little savings, and I bought like a really nice phone. I bought a drone, And I had a choice between either a phone or a computer. And I said, okay, if I buy a computer, I will need a camera, or I'll still have my phone, and it's not going to work like that. So I'll say I'll buy a really good phone that can give me like access to, you know, these editing apps and all these kind of things. So I kind of like invested into that more. And I think the idea was also that when people come back, or when people want to travel again, they'll need someone to trust. And I realized that in the age that we are right now, if I have a skill and I want people to know what I'm capable of doing, then I should put my skill out there. Every single person can have their own different way of how they're putting out their skills. So for me, by making a video, was like everybody will see me very differently. So some people will say, okay, this guy could be a really good speaker. Somebody else will say, oh, this could be a really good guide. Somebody else could be like, oh, this could be a really good presenter. Somebody else could say, okay, this could be a really good video maker. So everybody will see you in many different qualities. And I said, even though people are not going to watch my videos now, eventually when people come back, they're going to search for these videos and they're going to watch these videos. And I always imagined, I wasn't looking at my like subscriber count, view count, like I was looking at these things, but I was not obsessed with them. And the reason I was not obsessed, because I felt like, okay, if 100 people are watching my video, I imagine myself in a room and 100 people listening to me. So I was like, wow, that's a lot of people. And I think it's also something that kind of like comes up, and it opens up more for you. And for me, I thought of it more on the business side, which means if people see my videos, that is going to boost my, for example, my tourism business. And I thought of the videos as a way of me getting an income indirectly, in which most people think like when you are on YouTube, you know, you earn money through, you know, when you monetize your channel and things like that. And for me, like I thought of it very differently, and I still think of it very differently. I think you can use content and create a business around it indirectly, and like that can channel up to all those, you know, the kind of businesses that you have.
Yes, yes, I see you are the ultimate entrepreneur. I mean, you could be teaching us an entrepreneurship course right now. I love that you were like, you know, some content creators are in it. They want the YouTube ad money, the TikTok ad money, the Instagram sponsorships. You were like me, I'm just trying to drive business to my main hustle, which is being a travel expert and tour guide. I hope everyone.
No, you know what's
yes,
you know what's interesting, Nicole, is that when I came to that thought, when you know, people like hotels come to you and they're like, okay, you can stay in my place for like 3 days, and it's a 5-star hotel. It has a value of not less than maybe $800 a night. And you're like, someone is willing you to give you a place with a value of $800 a night, stay for 3 days, and then you know, like make a video about the place. And I was like, why can't I drive all of this through my own business? Because it's like they can see the power of how you can drive that into their business, but you can. So I was like, okay, I'll put more energy into doing things that going to create value to the other person, more than just going to a place that someone is going to pay me to do something. Because sometimes people, when I make videos, people trust you with what you do and what you say. Which means if I'm just going to a place because they're paying me a certain amount of money to make that piece of content, and if people go there, it's not the way as how I said it. It's kind of like making people lose trust for the things that I say. And I think that trust part is really important to do things, but at the same time, not to look on just you, but to look at other people and what value you are providing to them, you know, to create that impact. And for me, it was more like, if you as a traveler, I wanted to create something that you are going to benefit from coming here. Whether or not you book with me or you do not book with me, for me, I feel fulfilled because I helped you travel better in my home country. And I think that's how I thought about it. And through that, the content kind of like opens up more opportunities for you. You know, I got engaged with people from the World Bank, and they just saw my content and they were like, hey, we want to involve you in this project we are trying to do. Can you help us with that? And I had no idea how to do it. And I told them like, okay, I haven't done this before, but I'm willing to learn. So if you can give me some guidance, then I'll be able to do this. And like, okay, so we kind of like engaged from there. And then they wanted me to speak on one of their panel. And, we engaged, they created an exhibition and stuff like that. So we kind of like, work together. It's things that I had never done before, but I was willing to learn and, open more and be like, okay, I'm willing to learn. Can you give me some guidance? And I think these opportunities for me, I feel like it's something that I really feel grateful for.
Honestly, Ali, I have to say your authenticity and your integrity is exactly the reason why you are as successful as you are. You are the type of entrepreneur who's not just trying to make money to make money. You're not just making videos to make videos. You're actually trying to give people an experience that's authentic, an experience that is vouched for by you. And for you to sit here and say, whether you book me or not book me, as long as I was able to give you, an opportunity or to see something differently, to learn something differently, that to me is just everything. I wish I had my sound effects so I could give you some claps, okay? Because that is just absolutely incredible. I mean, that's the type of entrepreneurship, that's the type of people that we do look for. Like, to me, that is a real influencer, because you're actually saying, this is something that I vouch for. This is something that I think is important, and I'm going to put you on so that you have just as good of an experience as I had. So that's just incredible. Like, man, so much love to you, man. That was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I just gotta say, and I see that there's other people in the chat. I see we have the one and only Aaron Smith in the building, a phenomenal drummer, percussionist who's traveled all over the world, also a guest on the show, showing love. What's up, Aaron? Good to see you, my man. I see we got Bayon, an incredible content creator out of Los Angeles, showing some love in the chat as well. What's up, girl? Good to see you. I'm seeing some people have some questions for you. Najma, I want you to put that question that you have. Put it, anyone who has a question for Ali, go to the bottom of the screen. Next to the comment section on the right, there's like a little thought bubble with a question mark. Click on that, type your question there. There's so many comments, so many things going in the chat. I might miss your question, but I will ask Ali all the questions you have. So once again, just go to the right-hand corner of your screen, it's a little thought bubble with the question mark. Click there, type your question, and then I'm gonna ask all those questions that everybody has for you. But people are giving you claps. Eclectic Wanderer saying Ali is a special person. May Allah bless you, bro. Alhamdulillah. May Allah bless you. Hell yeah. Exactly. I love it. I love it. I see people sending love from Kenya. Everybody's in the building today. I love to see it. This is what's fun about lives, like you get to see where people are coming from, what they're saying in the moment. Everybody loves you.
I think I would like to see people dropping flags on the comments so that I know where these people are watching this from. But let's see if they're gonna do so.